So I'm Abigail. I'm the product program director for Girl Scouts Alaska. I was the product program director for most of the cookie season last year. And I have finally been with Girl Scouts for over a year. Feels really great to be able to say that. Also joining us tonight, we have Alexis. She's one of our community engagement specialists. She's on the newer side, I guess, but Alexis has been with us for a little bit now too. All right. Oh boy. Okay, I'm still getting used to using Zoom on this particular computer. But tonight we are going to go through eBudde in what hopefully is like a recap sort of form. I know for a lot of people who have been around cookies for years and years, you've seen eBudde, you've been through eBudde, but we do have quite a few changes this year, mostly in just the way it looks. So I don't want anybody to go to do something that they've been doing for years and years and be surprised that it looks different. We also do have some new functionalities this year, which I hope are super, super helpful. And then there's my camera. It's okay. I'm still here. Just doesn't want to show my video, I guess. So I don't want anybody to log in to do something that they've done in eBudde for years and years and be surprised that it looks different. And then we also have some new functionality that I hope will make everything go a little smoother this year. And then one more thing is that there's a couple spots in eBudde that we're actually going to use now, even though they've been around for a while, we hadn't used them in the past. I'm going to jump between two different screens. I'm going to use eBudde Live to show you exactly what you'll see. And then I'm also going to use eBudde Demo because it's not exactly the same. It's very close. It's just not quite exact. But in eBudde Demo, I'm able to show you parts of the season that we can't see yet because it's not that part of the season. Usually you can tell usually you can see that I'm in demo because it says demo in gray on the background, but not every screen in demo is like that. If at any point you want to know which one I'm in, you can just ask, it's no problem. So I'm going to share my screen again and we'll get started. All right. So here is eBudde. This is the live version. And this is the council level. So let me get to my training troop 1, 2, 3, 4. Troop 1, 2, 3, 4 is my training troop. That is just because it was an easy thing to use. So here we have our dashboard, and this is what the dashboard will look like for most people, where you may have some green bars here for the cookies that you ordered last year. If your troop didn't exist last year, or if your troop didn't sell cookies last year, you don't have that data because you didn't have cookies last year. If your troop did sell cookies last year, you should have those green bars. If you were expecting to have them, you don't. There is a setting that can make things a little weird. Just let me know and I will get you adjusted to have those green bars. We have this wonderful purple timeline this year that shows us where we are in the cookie season. And these check marks will turn green when we've passed those deadlines. So once we have submitted our initial order, everything prior to the initial order will turn into a green check mark, kind of whether or not you did that. So if your troop chose not to sign up for booths, you're still going to get a green check mark because booth sign up has happened. and that's just fine. Booths are a wonderful opportunity, but sometimes they're more than your troop is up for, and that's absolutely okay. So a couple things that you can be looking for right now. In this contacts tab, you should have everybody in your troop who needs to access eBudde. That isn't necessarily every single person in your troop leader in your troop, but anybody who needs to access eBudde for your troop should be listed here. So that's troop leaders and troop cookie managers. If you have a new troop leader, a new troop cookie manager, or are swapping around roles a little bit, this is an adjustment that is very easy for council to make for you. We just need to know about it. The settings tab, you don't really need to do anything with. You can check here under generic proceeds, if your troop participated in Fill Your Troop and achieved the tier 1 or tier 2, this should say yes instead of no. This is a training troop, so it just says no. If it says the wrong thing for you, just let council know and we can get it adjusted. If your troop is a travel troop and you have filled out the travel troop paperwork with Maggie and gotten everything approved, then this will say yes under travel and yes under travel PGA as well. PGA stands for per girl average. You will see that used a lot across all of eBudde. The per girl average is the number of cookies your troop has sold up to this point, divided by the number of girls who are selling cookies. If a girl is in your troop and she's not selling cookies, she is not included in the per girl average. So one thing that you should absolutely be working on right now is checking on your girls tab. This should have your entire list of girls who are in your troop listed. I'm going to go over to demo because yours looks a little different than mine. Okay. There's a bar in my way, so I am trying to, sorry, tiny little screen. Sometimes this is not ideal.
And Abigail, while you're looking around, if somebody logs into eBudde now, will they start seeing things for next year?
For 23, yes. You should be logging in and seeing 2023 right now. If you are only seeing 2022, that means somewhere you are not marked correctly as a troop leader or troop cookie manager. And just let council know that you're supposed to be one of those people, and we will get that adjusted and we'll get you into eBudde. I anticipate spending a good amount of time tomorrow getting people correctly adjusted. And that's just fine. That is what I plan on doing with my day. I want you to be in the right place. So this is what you will see. Now I'm in demo. This is what you'll see for your list of girls. It looks a little different than last year. So I have some made up girls for the sake of training. This is how they will look. You should have every single girl in your troop on this list, even if she's not selling cookies. We do a ton of data, us and Girl Scouts USA. We can compare to other councils that are similar in size. It's really cool, but we need to have the girls who are not selling cookies as data points also. But if they're definitely not selling cookies, you can mark them as inactive and then they won't show up on your other places. Or you can just ignore them. Or maybe that girl at the end of the season decides she does want to sell cookies and she sells 3 boxes of Thin Mints, and that is a huge success for her, and that's wonderful. We want her to get all the credit for that. So we have all of our girls here on our girls tab. Make sure you have all your girls. Make sure you don't have any extra girls. It happens a lot that a girl may sign up for a troop and then never actually end up going to a troop meeting. Decide Girl Scouts isn't for her, something like that, and not ever communicate that. And so she's just kind of idle in your troop. And then all of a sudden cookies happens and you're trying to get all of your girls selling cookies and you have this extra girl. Let council know that she never showed up to your troop meetings. We'll reach out to her, try to get her engaged, or maybe another troop would be a better fit for her. And that's just fine. We just need to know about her. The next tab in our order is a very important one. This is our initial order tab. So here I have initial orders already entered for some of the girls. This looks different than it did last year, in particular because we have this DOC girl delivered line. If a girl has digital cookie, DOC, digital cookie, girl delivered orders, they will automatically show up on this line here that she has those packages that she has to have accounted for so she can deliver them after the cookies arrive. This girl here, Alice, she does not have any girl delivered orders, and that's absolutely okay. We scroll down, I've got Betsy, and Betsy does have girl delivered orders. They appear here. This is all in packages. So she has 1 Adventureful, 3 Lemon Ups, 1 Trefoil that she needs to deliver. So we have to make sure those are ordered for her. They show up on this line. For Courtney, Courtney hasn't ordered any cookies. That's all right. Dory, she ordered 2 of everything. She has 2 of almost everything, but only 1 s'mores here listed. Those are her girl delivered digital cookie orders. I have already entered some initial orders for these girls, but if I needed to change them, you click on the girl and it shows up like this. Our girl delivered is grayed out because you can't change that. That is coming from digital cookie. And then this column here, the order card column, can be edited. So that's where you edit that. A pro tip is to click into the box and then just hit tab to jump from box to box, because that will automatically highlight the quantity that is already in the box. I submitted this initial order while I was creating the training videos for you in GS Learn, so that's why I can't edit these. You will have individual boxes. And this looks different than last year. The only thing that is different is the girl delivered line, but it looks different because everything has been optimized for a mobile browser. So you can log into eBudde on your phone, your iPad, whatever, and use a mobile browser, use Chrome or Safari, most likely, to do all of this. Last year, it was really clunky to try to do that. This year, it's all been optimized to look the same across all the different functions. So I'm going to click cancel to get back out of Alice's order. You will click save, which is always going to be over on the right-hand side. Always save in between each girl. It will just delete your data if you're not careful to save. So make sure you're saving. See, here we have an example of a girl who did online girl delivered and no order card orders. That's okay. For some girls, it's going to be like that, and that's no problem. So the initial order is due on January 30th for troop leaders to submit, and then we have 2 days for service unit managers to double check and help out anybody who has just missed the deadline. But after that, we need to submit the order or we do not get our cookies on time. All of the councils that are submitting their orders are kind of scheduled out in a way so that if we miss our spot, we get sent to the end of the line and sort of have to like wait until they have an opening again. So we will not miss our spot. I will submit the order without you if it comes down to that. I don't want to, and we will do everything we can to reach out to you and make sure that we have an initial order for you. But it is very, very important that we get our that we meet our spot to submit our initial order. It looks like we've got quite a number of chat comments. Alexis, are there any questions that I should answer right now, or in bed?
Nothing crazy. I did have a question that I marked to talk about tomorrow. It seems like some people are seeing different like troop info between the app and the web browser. I don't know if that's a known issue. I did ask them to send a screenshot though.
Yes, please send us a screenshot. That is news to me. I will definitely need to get some other people working on that, but please send us as many like screenshots as you can about the differences. That really helps us like prove to the developers that there's a problem happening. And the only other thing I can think of is eBudde has this weird sort of glitch right now where it'll double up some of these tabs if you have too many like cookies cached or like too much browser history going on. So clearing your browser history usually fixes the like double tabs issue, but this is a new problem I have not heard of yet. So definitely want to get that handled.
Another question that some other people might want to know, will parents be able to enter paper card orders like last year? I guess I'm not sure if I'm fully understanding the question that Tanya had.
Whole question. Alexis hasn't been through cookie season yet. I do know what that means.
Yes.
Like last year, parents will be able to enter their paper order card into digital cookie, but that's not going anywhere. So if they put their paper order card information into digital cookie, it stays where it is. It's like they wrote it on a whiteboard. And you as the troop leader can go get it from digital cookie if that's how you want to handle that. Or you can ask or you can ask parents to submit what they want. You can have all of the girls bring their order cards to one meeting and count it all up together, and then take their orders right then. There's a lot of options about how you want to do this for your troop. But if you do have parents enter them into digital cookie, you will have to go get them out of digital cookie. And we can, I can try to go over that in the digital cookie training. I might have to do a little bit of research myself, but I'll put that on my list. Anything else for the moment, or should I keep going?
One more thing.
Okay.
I had to scroll back up because we got a few. So just to clarify, cookie sales start on the 13th and the initial order is due on the 30th. So that's when they need to be into eBudde.
Correct. Yep. So all of the sales can begin on the 13th. Paper order card sales are promises to buy cookies later. So girls should not be collecting money for their paper order card. Girl delivered on digital cookie, they will be collecting money because it's a credit card process, but that one is easier because I can refund those from here if something catastrophic were to happen, knock on wood. So January 30th at 11:59 p.m. Alaska time is your last second to be entering your initial order. That is a Monday. We are in the office on that Monday. I anticipate spending that entire day helping people with last minute issues with their initial order. That is what I plan to do that day. So if you do need help that day, that is absolutely understandable. Your service unit manager is also a great resource for help with this part. And they also have that little extra 2 days of wiggle room to help you with that one girl who just was not getting back to you. And then all of a sudden she has a bunch of orders on an order card that she didn't tell you about because the family wasn't responding to your text message or whatever it was. And that's what they're there for. That's why those 2 days are built in.
All right. And one last thing, it seems like we have some people who are having trouble registering the app, and it's telling them they need to be registered by a parent. For the eBudde app.
That's interesting. I will need to look into that. Okay, I will add that to my list also. Alexis, will you send that to me in email?
Yep, I will.
Thank you. Okay. I will call
Oh.
my eBuddy person tomorrow morning. Okay.
I'm sorry, I meant digital cookie, the digital cookie app, not eBuddy.
Okay. That means your email address is in the wrong place right now, and that is something I can fix. Okay. Alexis, will you take individual names or emails for that and send those to me together? That way I can look into this. Interesting. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep,
Thank
I'll grab people's names. So if I message you directly, that's why.
you. Perfect. Okay. The next tab I want to talk about is booth sales. So that's our tab all the way over here. This troop, we're still in demo. This is still training only, has signed up for some booth sales. This is where they have signed up. If you watch my GS Learn series, this is the big box store sign up and the grocery store sign up that they have. And we can sign up for more council booth times up here. So sign up for a council booth. This is where you go to see all of the booth locations that I have entered. Oh, well. Okay. So we have our Anchorage area. Every town that we have booths available in will be listed here in live. We don't have our booths entered yet. We're still waiting on final confirmations from just about everybody, but we have lots and lots of preliminary confirmations, and that is awesome. Alexis is actually one of the people working real hard on that. So when you are ready to sign up for a booth, you go to your town that you want to sign up in, hit the little drop down, you'll see the stores that are available. You can hit the drop down, we'll show you the dates. These are both grayed out because I guess I have selected all of them between the two training troops, and that's okay. When they are green, they're clickable and you can click on it, and then there we go. See which slots are available. And you can click on a slot for your troop. Maybe this specific time was in the past, and that's why, yep. I had this as a slot listed in December from when I did the training for the GS Learn series. So that's how you will click on one of these and then click save. And that's how you can sign up for a council booth slot. When we do our, not quite a lottery, our booth selection process, we will announce a date and time, and booth selection will open. Basically, it is whoever clicks on submit first gets that spot. You will be able to go in and look ahead of time and kind of make a plan for your top couple options of where you want to have your booths, and then you will sign up for them when they go live. In the past, we have doubled big troops to allow larger troops to get more signups to accommodate all of their girls. This year, my plan is to have everybody available to sign up for 4 slots on the first round, 4 more on the second, and 4 more on the third, hoping that that is enough space for larger troops to sign up for their quantity needed. And if you did reach fill your troop tier 2, you will get an additional 1 slot prior to that whole process. That was just one of the incentives of achieving tier 2 for fill your troop.
And when will the first tier sign-up start?
I do not have that set yet. I'm hoping for around January 15th, but I have to get some more final confirmations before I'm comfortable setting a date for that. We will put it out everywhere. We'll send you an email. We may even send you a text message. We'll put it on Facebook, and it will absolutely be in our Wednesday email as soon as I have a definite for that. Again, I'm hoping for around January 15th. It definitely needs to happen before the initial order is submitted, so you know how many cookies to plan on ordering. But I don't feel confident enough yet to make that ready to go. Okay, another tab I want to talk about is one that has existed for quite a while. Oh wait, sorry. I do want to talk about troop booths first. If your troop would like to have a booth at a location that is not council secured, you are absolutely welcome to reach out to that location on your own. This is for small businesses. It's really great if a girl in your troop has a parent who owns a business or runs a business or works at a business. That would be a good candidate for hosting a Girl Scout booth, a Girl Cookie booth. It needs to be a location that the Girl Scouts could patronize themselves, which means could an older Girl Scout go into the location and make a purchase or receive the service on their own. Your daisies probably are not doing any of this on their own. So think about like a 13 or 14-year-old. Could she go into this place and order a cheeseburger? Or is it a hair salon and she could walk in and get her hair cut? Not that she probably would, but she could if she needed to for something. This means no bars, no liquor stores, no breweries, nothing that is exclusively like a smoke shop or a vape store, no dispensaries, things like that. Generally common sense rules. There are some super successful troop booths that I've seen happen before. And one of the reasons that you have to report them to us through this add or edit a troop booth spot is when it is a troop booth that council has approved, your service unit manager has approved, you're covered under our insurance. And if you're not covered under our insurance and something bad happens, we can't back you up. And we want to back you up if something were to happen. So if you do submit this to us and we've accepted the location, you are covered under our insurance and we can back you up were something to happen. So the add, edit a troop says you haven't added any yet, click the add. We go through and enter all of the information. When you're filling this out, be aware that this is exactly how it is going to appear in the National Cookie Finder. So that means use correct capitalization, punctuation, stuff like that. Yes, Alexis.
All right, so just a few small questions about booths. So
Absolutely.
what about selling at like a parent's office? I'm assuming like a doctor's office or an office building.
There's a couple different sort of ways about that. Is it setting up a booth and selling a booth like in the lobby of an office building? In which case it absolutely is a booth. It's a troop booth. Enter it, we'll approve it. That's great. Or is it more like you're bringing your daughter to work and she's walking around with a grocery bag full of cookies? That's not a booth. That's a girl walking around with a grocery bag full of cookies. That is absolutely okay to happen. You do not need to enter that as a booth.
And I had somebody ask about like breweries that hold like market days where there are like multiple small businesses.
Okay, this is a difficult one because it can't be at a brewery. If the brewery sells food, like 49th State is a restaurant, even though it's a brewery. If it's a restaurant and the place sells food, we can do it. If it's that, so there's the Double Shovel Cider Company in Anchorage, which is just a cidery, and I know they have outdoor pop-up vendors and stuff like that. That doesn't work. That is a brewery. So that's a no. And I know that creates like a very gray line, but if there is something that you think really falls outside of this is selling in front of a brewery, contact council. We will talk to you about it and figure out if there's a way to make that happen. I know these can be really high trafficked places, really awesome opportunities, and really not centered around the alcohol portion. But at the same time, we have rules from Girl Scouts USA that we have to follow. So we'd love to have a conversation about it if you really think this is an exception.
I think that's everything about booths for now.
Okay. So the one thing I have to say about this last is the save button. It is going to delete everything that you typed if you do not click this save button. So make sure you click save. It's mad at me because I didn't fill anything out, but that's okay. All right, our one tab that has always been around, but we've not really used in the past is our gift of caring organization. This is for if your troop wants to give cookies to a specific organization and you are going to accept donations at your cookie booth for this specific organization. Gift of caring is when somebody comes to your booth and says, I don't want to buy cookies for myself, but can I buy a cookie to be donated, buy a box of cookies to be donated. Your troop physically takes a box of cookies and you can like put it in a box specifically labeled for where you want to donate to. That is a great thing for troops to do. A lot of troops have had a lot of success with this. Some really great stories have come out of it. Really cute pictures of daisies donating cookies. But this is a page we've not used before in eBudde. I just need to know where these cookies are going when they're donated. I'm not going to tell you that Beans Cafe isn't good enough and you should donate to Clare House instead. No, I just need to know where they're going. So I need the name of the organization. And then the rest of the information. The name is this, for the contact name, is whoever you talk to. If it was just the front desk person and that's all you can give me, that's fine. I'll take it. And then the phone number, I need whatever phone number it is that you called. And if that's what you Googled, that's okay. That works. I would love to have an email address. If one really doesn't exist, that's not the end of the world. But I just need to know where the cookies are going. Okay, and then how many packages your troop donated at the end of the season. Oh goodness, okay. It really does want all of this information. That's okay. I haven't played around with this tab too much, but it does exist in live. This is obviously demo, but it's in the same place in live. Okay, we're at 7:05. There is one more tab. All of the tabs are very important, but the girl orders tab is where you go to make sure every girl gets accounted for the cookies that she does sell herself. It's also where you track how much money she has paid you and how much she still owes. And this year we have it in variety view instead of category view. So this tracks every different flavor of cookies. And this is important because the s'mores and the toffee-tastic cookies cost more money. If you slip up and you maybe switched a do-si-do and a tag-along, as long as the total number of cookies comes out to the correct number, you'll be okay. But s'mores and toffee-tastics, because they are the $6 cookies, those numbers really need to be correct also. So every time when you place the initial order, it knows. So the initial order is locked. That's how many cookies you ordered for that girl on the initial order. And eBudde knows that you gave those to her when the initial order happened. After the initial order, every time you hand a girl cookies or she hands you dollars, you need to record it on this page. So every time a girl comes back and says, hi, I know we had a booth last weekend and I should have had my neighbor just come to the booth, but they forgot. And now they want to buy a package of Thin Mints and a package of Samoas, and I don't have any more. Can I have each of those? And you say, yes, here's your 1 box of Thin Mints and your 1 box of Samoas. Go sell them to your neighbor. You need to record in here 1 box of Thin Mints, 1 box of Samoas for whichever girl it was who asked you for Courtney. So you just click on Courtney, you add an order. The comment is what you want this to show up as. So I would probably date it. However you want to code these. Some troop leaders in the past have put a line for every like person name order. I've also seen troop leaders just put the date and nothing else. So she needs 1 package of Samoas and 1 package of Thin Mints. I have to move this. Here's our save button over here. Again, eBudde loves to delete your work if you don't save. Click save. Here it's saying, oh, okay. So now we have what she requested that day and what we gave her, 1 package of Samoas, 1 package of Thin Mints. So that was a total order of 2 that day that we handed her. She's going to owe you $10 for that. She has not paid you any of the $10 for that. So here's the $10 that she still owes you. We have these DOC shipped orders in here. So these are direct shipped orders out of Digital Cookie that the girl is getting credit for, but you never had to touch these packages. She never had to touch these packages because they were shipped. So she's got 2 different orders, 1 for 6 packages, 1 for 7. The total due was $30.36. The total paid was $30.36. So the balance due is 0. If you ever have a girl with a negative dollar balance due, that means she needs more cookies. If the balance due is negative, that means she has sold more cookies via Girl Delivered than she has picked up. So she needs those more cookies to balance out the number of cookies she has sold and the number of cookies she needs to have delivered. I'm going to cough, so give me just a moment.
And real quick, just a few little questions. One was asking about if it's okay if you add to a girl's order after the 30th.
So I anticipate most girls will need more cookies after the 30th. But after the 30th, you can't add them to the initial order anymore. You will just add them to this girl orders tab once you've received the cookies for your troop or picked up more cookies from a cookie cupboard, and then you give the cookies to the girl after that. And here in this girl orders section is where you record that you did that.
Thank you. And I know when I was like a kid selling cookies, we would always have people come up to the booths and like just wanting to give money. I have somebody asking, what if somebody just wants to donate money to the troop? Is that allowed?
So one of the things about Girl Scout cookies is that we're not a fundraiser. We are a program. The Girl Scout cookie program is about girls learning how to use these entrepreneurial skills to build confidence, build skills, build life skills for themselves. So we are not a fundraiser. If somebody wants to give a donation to the troop, they can donate directly to the troop. And there's some legal rules that I am not the person to be answering questions about, but sometimes it needs to pass through the council for it to be okay. So that's something to reach out to council about. If somebody donates $100 to you, and I know this happens occasionally, reach out to council and say, we got a donation for our troop at a cookie booth. Do we need to hand it through council, or are we okay to just put it in our bank account? If somebody walks up to your troop and says, I just want to donate money to your troop, you don't have to tell them no. But you cannot have a donations jar because we're not a fundraiser. We're not asking people to give us money. We are out there for the girls to be building skills. So no donation jars, no tip jars, no asking people to just give to the troop. But if somebody walks up and says, I just want to donate to your troop and I don't want cookies, that is something we can process through the council. You just should reach out to us that happened, and if you need to do anything additional.
Okay, thank you. And just to clarify, it's 4 booth spots each round that they'll have a chance to sign up for.
That is my intention. I don't see that changing, but I will make it very clear if it is to change for some reason when we release the dates. And I noticed this last year, everybody seemed to sign up for only the earlier booth slots and left later booth slots open. You can sign up for the later booth slots also. You don't have to have the very first Saturday. You can have the second Saturday, and you're going to sell just as many cookies on the second Saturday. Oh, sorry, I clicked on back to the homepage. I don't want to give you too much information and overwhelm you, but the one other thing to point out is this transactions tab is how you get more cookies if you need more cookies. It looks different than last year, but this add button up here is how you get more. There aren't any open cupboards right now, so it's not going to let me submit anything, but you'll pick where you want to pick up from. Right now, everything appears to have no cookies because everybody has no cookies right now. You'll pick your cupboard, your date and time, and then how many cases you want to pick up. It will let you fill in cases and packages, but as far as I know, every cupboard only lets you pick up in cases. So you need to fill this out in cases. I did forget to mention about ordering in cases over packages. So let me go back to the initial order for a moment, and then we'll be done for today. Troops and individually registered girls have to order in full cases. So it'll tell you down here how many cases your troop is going to get. And this is for simplicity and ease. It really is. You might end up with a couple extras, and that's okay. Your troop will absolutely sell them between girl delivered orders after January 30th and booths and just forgetting that you missed one order written down on the order card. Your troop will sell these additional cookies to round up to a full packet, or to round up to a full case. And this will fill to your total in cases. It's just the way that this happens. And if you were really, really concerned about that, send counsel an email or give us a call and we can help you figure out how to handle that for your troop. I promise that is not the concern for cookies. You will sell those cookies. Okay, that was about 45 minutes straight of me talking. So what questions can I answer? What questions do we still have?
Are we allowed to ask questions about cookie?
You are welcome to ask questions about digital cookie if nobody has any more eBudde questions. We will have a fairly thorough, or hopefully very thorough, digital cookie training later. And there's still a couple things in digital cookie that just aren't clear enough for me yet. So the answer might be I'll have to get back to you. But if we're ready for digital cookie questions too, go for it.
Did you want me to wait until somebody else? Wait a couple minutes?
It looks like we're caught up in the chat based on what I'm seeing. So go for it.
With digital cookie, I know this has been mentioned. I can't remember if it's in like a, maybe one of the notes, you know, the Wednesday emails. Did, about, turning off girl delivered, and that it's only gonna, is it only gonna be able to be done from the council level? Because I generally tell the parents that they need to turn off girl delivered, because we're not gonna have like a whole ton of cookies for you to, you know, have cookies after the initial order is in.
Okay, so you have options. This year, you can say, okay, parents, I need you to turn off your girl delivered because we're almost out of cookies. We only have these 6 packages left. No more girl delivered. That's totally allowed. Or you as the troop leader can reach out to council and say, hey, on Wednesday, shut off our girl delivered. My troop is done with it. And I can go in above you and above your parents and turn it off for all of them, whether they want to or not. And this is just a level of kind of making sure that your parents follow the direction that you gave them.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, absolutely. And I can turn it back on if you just needed a break for the week while everybody goes out of state for spring break, because I feel like that's just what happens.
Okay, that's fine. It's normally because I have parents that don't turn it off on their own and then end up wanting cookies, and then I don't have spare cookies for them.
All of a sudden they need adventurefuls and we don't have any more.
Exactly. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Can I ask a question in regards to the question that was just asked?
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to remember, this is just my second year selling cookies, so I'm trying to remember how it worked last year. With the digital cookie, do we normally turn it off by January 30th when like the initial order is made? Like, I can't remember how that works.
So last year we did end up having to turn it off kind of in the middle of cookie season due to some supply stuff, but we do not anticipate having any of those issues this year. This time, I hope I can make it more clear this year that girls can take girl delivered orders through all of January, and then your troop places your initial order. And then it's kind of up to you and your troop parents. Are you ready to keep taking girl delivered orders? Because you absolutely can take girl delivered orders after January 30th. And then you fill those girl delivered orders out of your troop extras. You can fill them out of your booth cookies and pick up more cookies for a booth. And where you can just pick up the additional needed cookies out of a cookie cupboard.
Okay.
But you should monitor a little bit those girl delivered cookies after January 30th, because some parents may kind of forget to tell people to buy cookies from their girl until after the initial order is placed, and then all of a sudden they've got 5 times the number of cookies that they put on their initial order, and you're really surprised. So I would check on it like once a week, that nobody has a very sudden explosion of cookie orders. Or if you're a small troop or a new troop or even a big troop and you need to have that break of we took the orders and now we're just waiting for the cookies to get here, and once the cookies get here, we'll take more orders. You can ask council to turn off girl delivered for your troop. We can turn it off and then we can turn it back on when the cookies get here. That is absolutely an option.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks.
Absolutely. And that is a little bit of a change from last year. Last year, we were not able to turn off the entire troop for girl delivered cookies. And this year we can. That is absolutely something you should be communicating to your caregivers, your parents ahead of time before that happens. So. Ruby, and I'm thinking that Ruby is maybe your girl's name. Cookie donations, yes. Money donations, if somebody walks up to your booth and says, I want to donate money to your troop, you can say yes. but you're not standing there asking for donations. You don't have a donations jar. You're not soliciting donations. This is not a fundraising experience. It is a cookie program. So if somebody just walks up and says, let me give you $100, yes, but you need to contact council and tell them that that happened.
And Ruby, I'm not sure for cookie donations, if that answers your question, or if you have questions about like donating cookies through the gift of caring. I just want to make sure that we get everything.
I can actually talk about gift of caring more. I think Ruby knows what's going on with that, but troop gift of caring is when your troop says, we want to give cookies to this specific organization over here, and we want to do the delivery. We want to be a huge part of it. That is troop gift of caring, and that is not something your troop has to do if you don't want to, because we also have the council gift of caring, which is American Red Cross Alaska chapter, which appears in eBudde as ARCA, A-R-C-A, ARCA. And that is when people donate cookies, donate packages of cookies, but your troop never needs to account for that actual box of cookies. That box of cookies will arrive to council usually at the end of May, maybe a little later this year. And then we donate that box of cookies, that package. And actually, we donated over 6,000 packages last year to the American Red Cross, and they love the donation. It's absolutely wonderful. They take the cookies to disaster sites and rescue sites. Took a pretty considerable number of cookies out to the communities that were affected by the typhoons over the summer. And people are just always so thankful for Girl Scout cookies because it's something comforting and something that people recognize. So we really love our partnership with the American Red Cross Alaska, and they're just really wonderful. So if your troop does not want to take on the additional organization and responsibility of a troop gift of caring, our council level American Red Cross relationship is really a wonderful one, and we will take care of that donation through council. We're happy to do it, and they're very happy to have us.
Thank you. Are
We
there any other? Oh, go ahead.
We have about 6 minutes left. I would like to respect everybody's time, and also I'm hungry. So if anybody has any more questions, please jump in, go ahead and unmute, let us know. This has been recorded, and we will post this in a variety of places. And the exact same training is going to happen on January 10th. And if you feel like you need more information or you just want to hear things again, you are absolutely welcome to join the January 10th one as well. We have digital cookie specifically for troop leaders, troop cookie managers on Thursday of this week. And tomorrow we have a specifically for individually registered girls eBudde kind of training. So if you are a troop leader who also has a girl participating individually, you are welcome to come to that one also. Some things just look a little bit different for individually registered girls. I know we have a couple of girls this year who are participating outside of their troop because they, as an individual, are planning to travel over the summer, but their whole troop is not traveling. And that's something that can absolutely happen. Just takes some extra coordination on the parent and troop leader. Next week, we have January 10th eBudde recap part 2, or not part 2, but round 2. Same thing, just again. And then Wednesday is our virtual cookie rally, and that is for everyone. Last year we had at least one troop participate in the virtual cookie rally all together as a troop, and that was really cool to see on the screen. All the girls were sitting together in the room. but they had the virtual rally up on like a TV screen. That was really cool. Or girls do it from home, and that's great too. Very fun, really cute dolphin craft. And then next Thursday, the 12th, we have our in-person Anchorage cookie rally at Wendler Middle School. I also know that there are cookie rallies happening in Kenai and Juneau and Bethel. And I think there's one in Homer as well. Thank you, Alexis, link to the calendar. They're all going up there. So hopefully your community has a cookie rally. We are really excited to see so many in-person cookie rallies this year. We hope to have really great turnout. And then we have lots of dolphin events coming up. I think the first one is this Saturday. That's also on our events calendar. Great for troops to participate in together, and also great for girls to participate in individually. We really hope the girls like our cookie mascot this year, Coral the dolphin, and there's a little mini dolphin this year named Clicker. Some really great rewards available for them along that theme as well. And again, I apologize that my camera just decided to stop working today. I guess I will find something to do about that for tomorrow. Any last minute questions?